What technique is used to cut a piece of dried bean curd into nearly 3,000 delicate strands?
At a thickness of less than 2 centimeters, it should be cut into about 20 slices.
How can a meat-filled pancake be stretched as thin as rice paper?
You toss it?
9 signature dishes in one bowl. What's the secret behind the Chang'an Pun Choi? It's truly hefty. Let's savor the ICH cuisine together. The vast and profound history of Chinese cuisine spans over thousands of years, embedding itself deeply in Chinese culture. The exquisite dishes passed down through generations, now recognized as ICH foods, are a testament to extraordinary culinary artistry. How do slicing and boiling craft Taizhou's Beancurd Threads' unique taste?
In the meantime, you have to keep stirring with chopsticks.
What's the secret Yiwu's pastry masters use to make their dough cooperative?
Press it. If it doesn't bounce back, the dough is ready.
Why do banquets in Chang'an town, Dongguan, serve just one dish? What intricate delicacies are hidden within? I have ingredients all over my hands, but it's very different from how you usually make smooth meatballs or fish balls. Our delicacy hunter will take you on a journey to savor these unique ICH delicacies. Enjoying dim sum brunch is a century-old tradition in Taizhou, Jiangsu. Tang Gan Si is a signature dish of Taizhou's dim sum brunch, known for its delicate appearance, tender texture, and lasting flavor. In 2008, the technique for making this dish was listed as a representative intangible cultural heritage of Taizhou. Slicing a piece of dried bean curd into nearly 3,000 delicate strands. This technique not only demonstrates the knife work of Huaiyang cuisine, but also provides a special texture to the bean curd. What kind of extraordinary knife skills are used? Let's learn from the skilled artisan, Xiaoping.
The threads are cut from this block of bean curd at a thickness of less than 2 centimeters. It can be cut into about 20 slices.
You mean, you need to slice it horizontally into 20 pieces first?
Yes. Then, cut it vertically.
Cut it vertically?
About 150 times.
You can make 150 cuts with just 5 centimeters?
Yes.
This dish is a must-have on any dim sum brunch menu in Taizhou, and it goes with anything. Taizhou is known for its round, plump soybeans. Authentic dried bean curd is essential for making dried bean curd threads. Slicing a dried bean curd block roughly 2 centimeters thick into 20 even and thin slices is a real test of knife skill for any chef. Taizhou's cuisine reflects the essence of the Huaiyang cuisine. Look, they're almost transparent now, see? I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to learn this skill. Let's see how challenging slicing dried bean curd can be.
Look, you're using a push-pull motion. Ideally, the block should be flat.
Like this?
With no bumps or dips.
Like this?
Yes, one clean cut.
Look at mine, it's transparent and thin on this side. Thicker at the top, and there are a lot of knife marks. In the center, you can see the knife scars from the push-pull motion.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I can just about slice the dried bean curd. But now it's time to cut it into threads, and I'm not sure I'm up to the task. Let me take a look. This is truly delicate. Just look at this one. Look. This is a standard thread. About 150 cuts are made on 20 thin slices to make the most out of a dried bean curd block. As an intangible cultural heritage technique, dried thread making holds itself to rigorous standards, while knife work shapes the threads, creating their smooth, silky texture. Lies in the boiling process.
The water must be at least 100 degrees Celsius to boil.
Do you boil it directly?
You need to add some lye first. Typically, 30 grams of lye is added per jin of dried threads.
Why do you need to add lye?
The lye helps the threads swell and soften, enhancing their tenderness.
Do you let them soak for a while?
About 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Is there anything to be done in the meantime?
In the meantime, you have to keep stirring with chopsticks. At first, you can feel some tension when you stir it, but as you keep stirring, it becomes smoother, almost as if it's floating.
Why does this happen?
Because it's starting to swell.
In fact, edible lye is a strong electrolyte that completely ionizes in water. The charge is attached to the surface of the threads, enhancing their hydrophilicity, allowing them to fully absorb water and expand. It also slightly denatures the protein, giving the threads a smooth and tender texture.
Now, you can check it by touch. It should feel soft.
It feels very smooth and soft.
Yeah, if it's done right, with a gentle pinch.
It will
It'll break.
break. The dried threads soaked in lye water need to be thoroughly rinsed with clean water. Before seasoning, (1,500 grams of salad oil, 500 grams of onions, 250 grams each of leeks, garlic, and ginger slices, 17 grams of star anise, 20 grams of fennel seeds, 16 grams of bay leaves, 10 grams of cinnamon, and 10 grams of angelica root are used to make an aromatic oil. The filtered ingredients are then combined with 1,500 grams of soy sauce, 2,500 grams of water, 1,000 grams of white sugar, and 300 grams of salt to prepare the soy sauce base. The combination of the two mixtures adds a perfect balance of salty, sweet, and umami flavors to the smooth threads. The exquisite knife skills of Taizhou have turned the making of dried beancurd threads into an intangible cultural heritage craftsmanship. Meanwhile, the skilled meat pancake makers of Yiwu are able to stretch meat-filled dough into a pancake so thin it's translucent. What special skills are used in this process? Yiwu, located in the center of Zhejiang province, is renowned for its global small commodity wholesale market, where the thriving commerce has given rise to a variety of fast food delicacies. One standout is the Dongguan meat pancake, famous for their thin, crispy texture, and its technique was also added to the Zhejiang Provincial Intangible Cultural Heritage List in 2023. So, what special techniques are used to make Dongguan meat pancake as thin as rice paper?
I opened my first shop on Minju Road, near the Youth Palace, in Yiwu. Over the years I've followed the small commodity market wherever it moved, as it attracts merchants from all over the country. And it helps spread my meat pancakes nationwide and even globally.
I guess I'm just a bit particular about food. I always want to pursue the authentic taste.
We make it at home too, but we can't get it as thin as this.
Really? You make it at home?
And we can't make it this big either. To learn more about Dongguan meat pancake, I sat with some locals to learn the secrets behind this unique dish.
Fold it up first. How is it?
The meat pancake is very thin and has a very soft texture. It's very delicate. Look, it's just one layer and you can see through it, right?
Yes, it's very thin like a sheet of paper.
So who made this amazing meat pancake?
The owner did. That's her. She made the pancake?
Yes.
Welcome, everyone.
This pancake is amazing. We're friends now.
Right?
Yeah. This cheerful lady in front of us, Zhang Aizhen, was selected in 2017 as the representative inheritor of the Dongguan meat pancake making technique, an intangible cultural heritage project of Yiwu. Her extraordinary skills earned her the nickname Meat Pancake Queen from the locals. Ms. Zhang says her family has been making meat pancakes since her grandmother's time, and she's the third generation to carry on the tradition. Legend has it that this dish was first made during the Qing dynasty as a traditional Yiwu treat. Wherever people from Dongguan go, they bring the meat pancakes with them. In my opinion, making a pancake as thin as rice paper is already difficult, let alone one stuffed with filling. Upon learning my intentions, Ms. Zhang generously showed me how to make Yiwu Dongha meat pancake.
In Dongha we make meat pancakes a lot. Making dozens at a time, for every tenjin of dough, we usually add 2.5 liang of salt. Adding too much salt strengthens the gluten too much, and then you won't be able to stretch the dough.
It can't be stretched?
That's right.
What happens if you add too little?
Then the gluten won't be strong enough, and the dough will tear and form holes when stretched.
It will tear? So 1:40 is the best ratio you found?
Yes.
After many experiments, right?
That's right.
To make the meat pancake as thin as paper, preparing the dough is both fundamental and crucial. The amount of salt can affect gluten formation in the flour. The prepared dough needs to be divided into small portions to rest. The right resting time is determined by whether the dough is, in Ms. Zhang's words, cooperative enough.
Let's take it out. Then I will press it. If it doesn't bounce back, it's ready.
So you press it like this?
It doesn't bounce back, right?
No.
This is unrest dough. Press it. What does it feel like? Yet.
It bounces back.
That's right.
See, this mark is much lighter here.
Well-rested dough allows us to fill it and stretch it as we like. It is cooperative. We can stretch it as large as we want, as long as it doesn't tear.
So this is the key to whether the dough is cooperative.
Yes.
Press the dough with your finger. If it's cooperative and doesn't bounce back, it's ready to be used. But don't forget, this is a meat pancake. Taking modern healthy eating trends into account, Ms. Zhang substituted pork belly with pork tenderloin. Pork and scallions are a timelessly classic filling combination. Scallion's unique aroma comes from volatile sulfur compounds called allicin, which stimulate saliva and stomach acid secretion and can boost appetite. When combined with pork, it can remove its gaminess. Now comes the most crucial step. I'm going to closely observe how the cooperative dough is stretched as thin as paper, with a large spoonful of filling.
When starting out, don't use too much filling.
I should start with less filling, otherwise it won't hold together.
That's right.
Now another piece. Add another pancake on top?
Yes. And when you're sealing it, you need to pinch it along the very edge.
So, pinch it near the edges?
Yes.
This way.
The filling spreads to the edges.
Yeah. Otherwise, the outer ring won't taste as good, right?
Exactly. Then place it here and press it.
Press it?
And push the filling outward to the edges here. Start from the center. Yes. Once pressed, flip it over.
Okay, press it again.
Yes, use your fingers.
With my fingers?
Yes, this way it will spread evenly.
It really is.
That's good.
It's done?
Now we pull it.
How?
Start from the edges.
From the edges?
Yes.
Is it better to pull it as thin as possible?
Yes, the thinner the edges, the better.
Like this?
Yes.
I'm afraid it might tear as soon as I start pulling. Go slowly, and it's getting bigger, like this?
Once you've stretched it, you can flip it over. Flip it.
After stretching the edges, you need to flip it over?
Yes.
See, it's already a bit uneven. This part is a bit thicker.
Yeah. Do you see the meat filling clumping here? The meat filling is in clumps, you see?
Yeah.
Here, see?
Yeah.
That's because you didn't press evenly before stretching.
I didn't press it evenly, right?
Yes.
And this is the result. And look, there are some holes there.
Yeah, there are some holes.
It's also because it's uneven. If I stretch it further, it'll likely tear completely.
There will be a big hole in the middle.
Two layers of dough encase the meat filling. Seal the edges first. Then press to spread the filling evenly. And start thinning the dough from the edges. Stretch the dough while pinching and rotating. Final adjustments are made once it's in the pan, as it decides the appearance of your pancake. When the thin meat pancake hits the hot griddle, it shrinks and tightens right away. And in 30 seconds, a golden, translucent Dongha meat pancake is done. As an expert in making Dongha meat pancake, Ms. Zhang doesn't just want to stop here, but desires to tackle even greater challenges.
Typically, Dongguan meat pancakes are about 20 centimeters in diameter. Only those with great skill can stretch them to 30 centimeters.
The more skilled you are, the larger
Yeah.
you can make it. So, you're rolling it out now, right?
Yes.
Look, you can see the meat filling inside.
Yeah, but it isn't ready yet.
You toss it? This is completely different from the usual way meat pancakes are made, or how my mom makes them. The pancake seems alive in Ms. Zhang's hands, growing larger, thinner, and translucent. By tossing, the pancake expands through centrifugal force, becoming bigger, thinner, and more even. It's also less likely to tear than hand stretching, and is fun to watch. This one single pancake fills the entire pan. The whole pan, and just one pancake.
Give it a try.
Okay.
It's very crunchy.
Listen to this sound.
It's so crisp. Give it a try.
Okay. It's so hot.
Hot.
The larger one really does have a different texture compared to the smaller one. It's thinner. And it's very crunchy.
Yes, it's very tasty. Yeah, it's crunchy.
It's very thin and crispy. A 45 centimeter meat pancake is thinner and more translucent. You can hear the crackling sound and feel your taste buds celebrate with joy. It's not just about making larger meat pancakes. Ms. Zhang is also dedicated to refining the art of making Dongguan meat pancake. Today, the craft relies on Ms. Zhang's son and daughter-in-law to carry forward. But it's no easy task for the younger generation.
At first, I couldn't get the hang of it at all. Strict standards are actually helpful. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to manage the shop.
They are pretty good at it now. I'm very satisfied with their skills. When I opened my first shop, I couldn't have dreamed of the life I have now. Everything I've achieved is the result of my hard work.
The craft of Dongguan meat pancake, passed down through generations, has helped Ms. Zhang give her family a comfortable and prosperous life. While people in Yiwu, Zhejiang, pursue thinner meat pancakes, people in Dongguan chase intricacy in a single dish. In Chang'an town, Dongguan, there is an intangible cultural heritage dish made up of 9 signature delicacies, enough to serve a whole table. So, what exactly is this dish? Chang'an town, located in the southern part of Dongguan, still keeps alive the traditions of ancestral halls. On special occasions, everyone gathers around the table to share heartfelt stories and deepen their bonds, and the Chang'an choi is the only dish served. In 2009, this dish was officially included in Guangdong's provincial Intangible Cultural Heritage Representative Project list. It's said that the Chang'an choi combines 9 signature dishes, featuring a variety of ingredients and cooking techniques, such as pan-frying, stir-frying, quick-frying, deep-frying, steaming, boiling, and stewing. Li Yutong, a master of this dish from Chang'an town, sometimes prepares over 200 servings in a single day, when demand is high. It so happens that he's having a family reunion, so I had the perfect opportunity to learn how this traditional dish, which can feed an entire table with just one bowl, is made. What do we need to get today?
It's all on the list.
That's a lot of items. Let me take a look. I'm getting dizzy just looking at this list. To save time, we split up. I was in charge of the dry goods and vegetables, while Mr. Li took on the more intricate task of choosing the meat.
How heavy is this one? That's Zhangjiang chicken, about 3.5 gene.
Okay.
What Mr. Li referred to as Zhangjiang chicken is really the Sanhuang chicken. A 120-day-old chicken has tender meat and moderate fat, making it the top choice for white-cut chicken.
Do you have a 120-day-old goose? Around 7 gene.
Yes.
Mix scallions, ginger, garlic, red fermented bean, curd, oyster sauce, and 13 spices powder into a sauce. Stuff it into the goose. Coat the skin with soy sauce. Deep fry for about 5 minutes, until the skin tightens and changes color. Then remove and steam until fully cooked. Once cooked, drizzle the juice from the goose to coat the meat. Roast goose embodies the distinctive taste of Dongguan. Shiitake mushrooms are steamed with goose giblets and feet. Shiitake mushrooms with goose giblets is also one of the 9 delicacies in Chang'an Pun Choi. Mr. Lee skillfully navigates the market and purchases the ingredients. So I pick up my pace too. Hello, ma'am. What in selection your store has? Alright, let's start with taro, this one. It looks perfectly starchy, then I need some radishes.
The heavy ones are better for their higher water content.
Cabbage, and water chestnuts as well. Look, these are already peeled. I'll take these.
All right.
White radish may be ordinary, but it's a key base ingredient in the Chang'an Pun Choi. People in Guangdong are very fond of the red fermented bean curd, which is known for its rich aroma of fat and wine. Cut the radish into chunks, simmer it with red fermented bean curd, soy sauce, star anise, and salt. The radish will become tender, juicy, and refreshing after about an hour. Now that Mr. Lee and I have everything we need, it's time to see how he prepares all these ingredients and fits them into one bowl. Mr. Lee, the pork belly is ready, right?
Yes, it's fully cooked.
It is fully cooked?
Yes. Now you pierce the pork with this needle like this.
This is called a songpi needle, right?
That's right.
Why do you need to pierce it with this needle?
Because it allows the oil to easily soak into the meat.
I see, the oil seeps into the meat through these small holes, making it easier to fry and create that tiger skin texture.
Yes.
Stewed pork with taro is one of the most beloved parts in the Chang'an Pun Choi. Mr. Lee said, the pork belly must have a glossy tiger skin texture for it to be deemed a success. Pre-cooking the pork until fully done, piercing it, and brushing it with soy sauce are all to lay the groundwork for the tiger skin texture. Next is to fry it to just the right degree. To prevent splattering, you need to cover it with a lid. So you put a rack directly underneath, and then place the meat on it. Right?
Yes.
It could be very dangerous if the pot is not covered now.
The skin can explode in the oil.
Yes, you can hear it. The sizzling and popping sound. How long does this process take?
About 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Do you need to turn it then?
Yes, it needs to be flipped.
I see. When fried at approximately 150 degrees Celsius, the skin of the pork belly forms a dense layer of bubbles. After taking it out, you immerse it in cold water. Once the bubbles absorb enough water, they form a wrinkled tiger skin. The hot to cold transition also causes the pork to contract quickly, enhancing its chewy texture. When sliced, the skin and meat would remain tightly bonded. To enhance its rich flavor, the taro must also be pre-fried. Next, Mr. Lee would show us his magic touch with seasoning. How does he season the pork and taro? Is this your seasoning? Let me take a sniff.
Yeah.
I can smell the red fermented bean curd.
Yeah.
Are we going to start layering it next?
No. You must mix the seasoning in first. Combine it well before layering. That's how you do it.
You mean to mix the seasoning with everything first, right?
Yes.
What if I layer it first and then pour the sauce?
Then the sauce will be blocked by the pork and the taro.
Right, so it won't seep through the middle, right?
Exactly.
That's why we mix it first, to let the flavor seep in. The pork belly and taro are left to absorb more flavor in the steamer. Mr. Lee says that the Chang'an Pun Choi brings together a variety of everyday ingredients. Dace, a signature freshwater fish of Dongguan, also holds a special spot in this dish. I was correct that the dace would be made into fish balls, but I only got it half right. Mr. Lee has a very unique way of making fish balls. Now he dices all ingredients of the 8 treasures, including water chestnuts, red dates, pork fat, dried shiitake mushrooms, and dried oysters, into 1 centimeter cubes. I'm really curious, how can such large, chunky ingredients be made into fish balls? The fish balls are not perfectly round because they're packed with all those ingredients and they look a bit lumpy. However, they become quite sticky after a thorough kneading by Mr. Lee. So all the ingredients will be firmly held together, right?
Yes.
You can see well what ingredients are in here. Look, that's water chestnut, and that's dried shrimp, isn't it?
Yes. Shape it.
With your hand?
Yeah, with your hand.
It will stop sticking then, right?
Yes.
Look at this. I have ingredients all over my hands, but it's very different from how you usually make smooth meatballs or fish balls. Mr. Lee uses fish paste as an adhesive to tightly bind the 8 treasures into his fish balls. Every bite of the steamed fish balls is a journey through various ingredients and tastes, truly delightful. Now Mr. Lee pounds the remaining fish paste for elasticity before frying it into today's fish cake, to be stir-fried with cabbage. Mr. Lee explains that the Chang'an Pun Choi is layered with 9 signature dishes. It's not just about making each dish well, but also being mindful of the harmony between the dishes. So, how are these dishes layered together in one bowl? Is there a specific order to which dish goes in first and which goes in last?
There is. Place the ingredients that absorb the most flavor on the first layer.
At the very bottom, right?
Yes.
I assume the radish is the first layer, right? It's the most flavor absorbing.
The second layer is the pork rind.
Why pork rind?
Pork rind also absorbs the flavors from the layer above.
So, what's for the third layer?
The dace fish cake. The braised pork has an intense taste.
Yeah.
And it can infuse the lower layers. The lower layers will absorb the taste and have a richer flavor. That's why.
The red fermented bean curd also has a strong flavor, right? I noticed that. Below the meat layer, there's a stir-fried dish, so another stir-fried dish should be layered on top, right? This ensures the flavor of the braised pork in the middle stays intact. Where do the meatballs go?
The meatballs are placed around the outer edge.
In a circle? This is the roast goose. Its round shape is kept, and the white-cut chicken goes on the very top. I'm guessing it's because white-cut chicken is the mildest and shouldn't be mixed with other flavors.
Correct.
So it must be at the top.
Yes.
Let me lift it. It's truly hefty, and most importantly, this bowl is perfectly filled to the brim. Mr. Lee told me that in the past, the people of Chang'an weren't wealthy. So during festivals, they would gather dishes from many families and put them into one big bowl. This not only created an impression of abundance, but also symbolized unity, longevity, and prosperity. As we layered the food, Mr. Lee's family slowly arrived. Everyone sat around the table to share this single dish. This is not only an opportunity to bond, but also offers a taste of home to those who've been away.
This is Li Weiqing. His son inherited the tradition of Pun Choi from him, and has since carried it forward with great success.
So, Mr. Lee, this skill was passed on to you by your father? He's incredibly skilled. I believe his father's must have been even better. Truly amazing. Chang'an Pun Choi appear as a single dish, but it actually consists of 9 distinct parts. A variety of ingredients maintain their individuality while blending harmoniously, creating a truly satisfying experience for the palate. With his masterful knife skills, Xiaoping keeps the tradition of Taizhou dried beancurd threads alive and thriving. Zhang Aizhen continues to pass down the secret of making Yiwu Dongha meat pancake, striving to bring this treat from her hometown to a wider audience. Li Yutong embraces complexity, crafting the Chang'an Pun Choi, which features 9 dishes that embody the locals' memories of the past and hopes for a bright future. Intangible cultural heritage foods carry flavors that transcend time. These dishes adorn dinner tables, delight palates, and captivate countless food lovers. It's the dedication and devotion of these ordinary people that allow these remarkable food-making skills to endure and thrive across generations.